But it's been. You can tell I've been kind of losing my voice.
Yeah,
on the yelling I've been
we
doing.
were talking about it.
It's been an exciting weekend. I mean, with all this happening, I don't mean to age anybody, but none of this has happened. This playoff stuff with the Mariners since I was about 3 months old.
Okay.
So it's been a long time. So all of this, the playoffs, just making it is a big deal. But with what happened over the past weekend, it just continues. It's a Dave Niehaus quote. Famous Mariners broadcaster. It's just been incredible. It's been a lot of fun, just to see all these people, gathered around this team, and just from all over Seattle. You see Mariners crap everywhere.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I should have said that word, but just it's really fun to, like, the reactions. We had the watch parties over at T-Mobile Park to watch these away games because they were in Toronto, and just to see people take time out of their day, bring their kids to watch these games, and just the energy, the excitement. I say it a lot. A lot of that stuff, like packed houses, great energy in these crowds. I don't see that much anywhere else than in sports. And that's obviously, there are a lot of things in sports that can be improved upon the many different sports we have in this country. But the energy like that, it's really hard to replicate for me. So
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun to see all this take place.
Okay, now catch me up. Okay, so sorry, community, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I'm not that. I'm into sports. I'm still like, you just said it was ESPN. I've been calling it ESPN my whole life.
We can roll with ESPN.
Okay, ESPN. Okay, so can you update us on what happened during the last game that we had?
So the Mariners traveled to Toronto to play 2 games against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, if the Mariners, whenever they play Toronto here, like all of Canada comes down to watch that game. They take over. It's a big deal. So there's a little bit of a rivalry going on right there. Toronto's a good team, but because of the Mariners not doing essentially enough as the end of the season, they couldn't host they couldn't have these here. So we had to go on the road to Toronto, which is no easy feat. So you can see, we've got it on the screen here. October 7th, they went to Toronto, took care of business, really dominated that game. It was like, oh, shoot. So you mean business? Because this playoffs deal, it was like, okay, you made it after 21 years. You might just be happy to be here, right? 5 years is a long time. 10 years, let alone a drought of 20 years of not doing something. It's a big deal. And you think, okay, maybe they're just going to be happy to be here. They're going to be out of here.
Yeah.
And then they dominate game 1, and you're like, whoa.
What was the score?
3-0.
Okay.
I say dominate, but it's because, the 0 there is a big deal because Toronto, they're a really good offensive team. Mm-hmm. So to see them just kind of blank is huge. Game 2 is the big deal here. You can see 10-9. That's a lot. That's a lot for baseball. That's a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Mariners were down 8-1 at one point. You think, oh, shoot. I heard fans in the building, oh, we'll be here tomorrow for game 3 because if they lost game 2, they'd have to play a game 3. We'll be here again. Oh, you see the Mariners lose, and it's like the 5th inning, and you're like, 5th out of 9. You're like, oh, shoot, this is, you had game 1. It was great. Maybe you use all your energy then. You're behind, pushed in. You're like, oh, shoot. So 8-1. And you come back, and it starts coming back, and you're like, oh, shoot. Maybe they mean business, or maybe they're just giving their last little hurrah.
Yeah.
It's only so they come back and win 10-9 and kind of stun Toronto. Kind of feel bad because Toronto sports teams have a tendency to choke in the playoffs.
Okay.
But it's only the 3rd ever comeback in postseason history of 7 or more runs. So only 3 times that's happened over about a few hundred years because baseball is an old sport.
Okay, and when's the last time that we have actually been in the playoffs?
21 years ago.
21 years ago. So was that with Ichiro was on?
Yeah, that was his rookie year.
See, I do be knowing some stuff.
I'll give you credit.
I had to go back and think. Yeah, okay.
Back early October 2001 was like the last time they had won it. I don't know if you ever see percentages about who's got a better chance to win. Toronto had a 99 out of 100, 99% chance to win like halfway through that game. And you're like, again, you thought they were dead to rights. And just this incredible comeback that I've never seen before. I had kind of tuned out. I'm like, all right, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not worried about it because you play 3. I've got another chance at this. Also, that day, October 8th, was 27 years to the day where Edgar Martinez, a famous Mariner, one of the all-time greats, hit his famous double.
Okay. And I remember. All right now. I remember that time frame. That's when my grandpa watched it a lot. So I remember. I think it was Edgar, Tito, Martinez,
yep.
Jay Buhner.
Him
King
and I
Griffey
got
Jr.
the bald heads.
Yeah, King Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson.
Yep.
Okay, see, look at God. Okay, yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
okay.
no, absolutely. That's exact same timetable. It's been a long time, and a lot of people, our Storm have made the playoffs continuously and won championships. Sounders have been in the playoffs. The Seahawks won a Super Bowl over this time that this drought has taken place. So a lot of people kind of write the Mariners off. They're like, same old Mariners. They're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to fall on their face.
But they're doing good. But we got a Storm coming. Aren't we playing in Houston soon?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. If we've got that Big O's in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about it. I don't know if he wants to say anything, but we got it on the screen here. Games 1 and 2 are on Tuesday and Thursday. So this is unfortunate. Tuesday at 12:37.
Okay.
So it's the middle of the day. What are you going to be doing, right? You might have work. You might be doing something. I know it's tough. And then Thursday, the same thing, 12:37. But the big thing is October 15th right there. You see, that is back in Seattle. We don't know what time that'll be, unfortunately, but that's the first home playoff game. And again, 20 years. And I know the city's been starving for that sort of thing. So this is a big deal. Like you and I were talking about before we got live here, right? Houston is the big bully.
Yeah.
Houston's kind of been, since they came into our conference, people, I'm sure, if you have little baseball knowledge, Houston's had a famous cheating scandal. So there was that big thing. There's not a lot of love for Houston outside of the Houston community there. But yeah, this is kind of your big bad. So if you can, with that big comeback, I really do think you have a chance. When I was looking at this before we actually got in the playoffs, they said the only team in the playoffs I'm worried about is Houston.
Okay.
Because, again, they've been the big bad.
Well,
right?
What do you think Seattle needs to do? Well, if you were coaching, Chuck, what would you throw in?
So, I think it comes down to what a lot of the Mariners have done already this season. They have good pitching. You're going to need that. Any playoff team is going to need that because Houston has good pitching too. So you're going to need to match up with them in that regard. Your defense is going to need to continue to do well. They had the least errors in all of MLB, so they're tidy on defense. They're nice and tidy. And then I think the big thing is your offense. Your offense, if anyone reads my my game recap blogs on the blog site, they'll know I complain about how the offense is really like Jekyll and Hyde, up and down. Mm-hmm. You're going to need to bring it. You're going to need to bring it and show up. So I guess it's a lot of these guys have been waking up as the playoffs. Some of these guys who had a tough year have been waking up. So it's just continuing to get the most out of the guys are going to do well. But also, hey, there are guys who might have been written off. I need you right now. Because, again, your pitching and your defense is going to do its job. Your offense is your biggest factor to me. And I think if you want it as a coach, you want something of substance. I'm going to give you some substance. You need to take one of these games in Houston. Yeah. Because it's best of 5. You play 2 games then in Houston, 2 games in Seattle, and 1 more if they go to game 5 would be in Houston. You got to steal one in Houston. Okay. So
I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl.
World Series. It's the same. It's the same level.
Okay.
So you were right in that same level.
Okay.
But
Oops.
All
right.
I think yes. If we can get past Houston, I think you can take it all. I really do. But no, give yourself more credit.
I'm trying. I knew some of the players. I mean, I'm gonna get it right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be watching Circle and Seattle sports. No. So can you do me a favor? Look at the camera and tell us when we could be able to watch.
Okay, so these Mariner games, game 1 is on Tuesday, 12:37 p.m. Pacific time on TBS. I know it's been tough with baseball because the streaming services and all that. Don't get me wrong, I get it too. It's hard to watch some of this stuff. TBS. All of these games are going to be on TBS. Game 1 and game 2, 12:37. Game 1 is on Tuesday. Game 2 is on Thursday. I will be at Hatback Bar and Grill in Steelheads Alley, down right across from the ballpark, so I don't have to worry about paying for some streaming service, and I can go watch it at that cool, nice Steelheads Alley that's got all that history. There are a ton of places you can watch these Mariner games. There's the Mariners Bar League, Steelhead Alley, right across from the ballpark. Really great spot to be. But if you want to watch it from the comfort of your own home, TBS will have these games 12:37 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday are game 1 and 2 down in Houston. Or, if you watching it's too much, I know baseball is kind of a slower sport. I get that. I respect it. We on social media at Circling Seattle Sports will always have updates from the games, scores, injury, all that stuff. I mean, that's my job. That's what I do. So if you'd like to just update at your own pace, don't get me wrong, I can do that for you on there.
Okay, well, we can't wait.
I'm sorry, jumping in here real quick.
Wait, I thought you was gone.
No, I'm here. Chuck, I think that what Deaunte wanted you to tell people as well is how can people keep up with you? And
right, that's what I was asking. Yes.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, and I'm sorry I didn't get that. Lost that in translation there. But yes, on Instagram, we're at Circling Seattle Sports. On Twitter, if you put in Circling Seattle Sports, we'll pop up. It's our CSS logo like you saw during the commercial. Or if you're looking for the direct it's at Circling Sports. On Facebook, Circling Seattle Sports, type that all in there. And obviously, on Mondays, we have our weekly show, Circling Seattle Sports, on Converge Media here in the Black Media Matter studio, myself, as well as Belle Garcia, all the incredible photographers we work with. We always have our Mariners coverage. I know O is he's in Houston right now. He's busy, but I know he's a hat guy. I got to get him one of the hats with the playoff logos on it. I know he's probably maybe a little bit jealous that I got that. We'll get him geared up, but yes, Instagram at Circling Seattle Sports, Twitter at Circling Sports, Facebook, Circling Seattle Sports. It's what we do here. We cover all our teams, but this Mariners, I mean, it's really exciting for me. It's very emotional just because, my dad gave me baseball at such a young age, and it's been rough. I told you, same old Mariners, you get here, they suck. You're not going to make again this year. 20 years of that, most of my existence as a human being, so to see them finally break through, it's like you're cheering for the underdog for the longest time, and they're doing the thing right now. So I just hope they get to where we were saying,
Yeah, knock on wood.
We gotta get there first, but
right. How do you feel? I know. O's been would tag me in these Mariners games, and I wouldn't know what's going on. But
let me tell you something. If you go to Twitter right now and you put in my handle Omari Saul, right? And I tweeted this last night, and it's lightweight gone viral here in Seattle. Okay, it's over 1,057 likes, 42 retweets. I said, why am I such a Mariners fan? When I was a kid in the Central District, Alvin Davis would come to the CD and give us tickets. I'd walk down to the Kingdom and watch the M's play. I saw all the legends. His act of kindness decades ago never left me and never will. See us rise. That's how I feel, man. I love these M's, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is the best. I'm living my best life right now.
Yes, that is amazing. See, I need to come to a game then.
15. Let's do it. We need tickets.
I think it's gonna be expensive.
Okay, y'all both want to be all quiet. I want to go see the. Playoffs.
I think we need to get that. Playoffs. I got a limited budget, so we'll work on what we can work on. But regardless, we'll have to get you out to one of these. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
I want some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I'm done.
Okay, And on that note, we will be. Thank you so much for coming in, Chuck.
We will be right back.